Hi there, baseball fans. Backfields Media is back with our big board preview of the 2031 eMLB draft. We've gone through the first 2 rounds worth of players in the last 2 days. Tomorrow we'll be wrapping it up with our 4th round preview, and that will lead us to an exciting time. The actual draft itself, Tuesday night, starting at 6 p.m. First round should be, as the time you're watching this, be in the can, and the hard work of Kamish, Rocky Draws, and the whole eMLB family there will be putting together what is perhaps the best presented draft in all of sports. We'll then wrap that up on Tuesday night with the 2nd round, which will be live. All the GMs picking as it happens. Lots of rapid fire decisions. And then the same thing again on Wednesday night, again starting at 6, 3 rounds worth. Go ahead and order that DoorDash. Get all prepped. You got nothing else to do Tuesday night and Wednesday night as we watch one of the best spectacles in eMLB, the 2031 draft. But until then, let's review the 3rd round's worth of picks on the big board. That's positions 69 through 100 on our big board. So let's go forward and see who those players are. Maybe you can hit a like, give comments down below. If there's somebody we missed, or there's somebody that you think is way too high, let us know in the comments. Also, tell us what you'd like to see in the future, whether it's around prospects or the game itself. And we will take that back to the shop and we'll figure out how best to do that. All right, let's jump in. We are going to look at Jeff Bilbrough, 22-year-old right-handed reliever from North Falmouth, Massachusetts, currently going to Mississippi State, faces great competition there. The thing that really stands out about Jeff is his ability to keep the ball in the park, incredibly so. In fact, already is average to above average in that ability. He's a ground ball pitcher. Nice fastball slider mix, both kind of grade out to be just below average, but his ability to keep the ball in the park and keep the ball on the ground is going to get the attention of some of our general managers. And again, sometimes you don't always draft players because you think they're going to be the next breakout star. You're also looking to fill some solid needs in your minor league system. You could argue that Jeff could be potentially one of those. Sidearm delivery, touches 93, had a decent year in college last year. We're a little high on him, maybe a little bit higher than you would expect. The suppression and some of the other personality traits are interesting to us as well. Jeff Bilbrough coming in at number 69. And I made it all the way through that without a Hobbit joke. Number 70, Chris Roberts, left-handed 20-year-old, brought up as a closer. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. He goes to LIU in New York, currently a sophomore. Chris has a 2-pitch mix as well, but it's much better than Bilbrough's. Fastball, curveball, both rate is plus. Touches 96. Has plus stuff. Not as everything shows up above average in the way he's tracked. There's a lot to like here as well. Touching on the 96. Very adaptable. Whether or not that movement will play up, and also there's some worry about the control not being as far along as everything else is for him. I think he'll be mostly okay, though. He would be a very interesting. Again, he kind of fits the mold of the traditional closer, at least to me. All stuff, little bit of keeping the ball in the park, and then nobody's knowing where it's going. Chris Roberts, the number 70 selection on our big board this year for the draft. Savion Tarentine, 21-year-old catcher from West Palm Beach, Florida. We like this young man a lot. Elite catcher defense, could teach blocking and framing, just poetic, regardless of the pitchers that he is dealing. Went to school in New Orleans, faced good competition, was very good for that pitching staff, and also held his own with the bat. He is not just a glove-only kind of player. Power is slightly below average. We think that will tick up. I think there's more here than meets the eye. He's got good character traits as well. As with a premium on catcher defense, as the eMLB has, I have to think this guy gets drafted and every effort is made to improve his bat. You could certainly see him as the kind of guy to come in and give the big man a day off or two. Savion Tarentine is our number 71 prospect. Speaking of catchers, Leon Carter, CCP of yours truly, coming in at number 72. Right-hander. He's 18 years old. He is from Warsaw, Virginia, the same school that gave you Ed Brown, Brock Rutherford. Leon Carter continues the tradition there. Also, good catching ability on defense. What is going to make the most for him is plus power and contact. Spoiler alert, look at his new page. That should be up well before the time you see this video. Also a very smart player. He is going to hit the ball a lot. And again, as a CCP, I don't think he is going to last until the third round, but all the number crunching we do here, this is where he came up. Leon Carter, the number 72 prospect on the big board. At number 73, Jeff McMillan, right-handed third baseman from Hobbs, New Mexico. Fast, extremely fast on the base paths and just straight line speed. Plus gap and plus contact. Singles are going to turn into doubles. Doubles will turn into triples. Beats you multiple ways on offense, can put the bat on the ball, will get hits. The eye we wish was a little better, but when he gets on base, he can take that extra base or two as he needs to. Third base needs a lot of work. He does have a average arm and could play at third, but I think overall this is a very nice prospect. He could, with just a little bit of surprise, if he added just a little more power or maybe his eye got a little better, you could see him on a major league ball club as well. Jeff McMillan coming in around number 73. Caleb Zucker comes in at number 74. He's a left-handed center fielder, 18-year-old from Houston, Texas, committed to Oklahoma, could potentially be taken in this draft. I fully expect him to go. Plus contact, can hit the ball to all fields, and doesn't show any real degradation in talent with that. I think that ground ball is going to become a line drive as he begins to increase his ability to make good, solid contact consistently. He's got the mechanics to do it. The power in his bat grades out to just slightly below average. He's an above average corner defender in the outfield, has fairly sure-handed, above average range. The arm kind of plays out to average, so kind of look at him as more of a left fielder than anything else. Works hard, is an excellent character guy. Teammates like him a lot. Smart. I think he's going to have every chance to succeed from somebody's organization. Caleb Zucker comes in at number 74. At number 75, Buzzy, Mike Gardner, left-handed shortstop from Athens, Georgia. He fell a little bit on our charts. Talk about that in a second. He's a five-tool star, plus range, can play anywhere on the infield, can even, in an emergency, perhaps play left field. He is a late bloomer. He's got multiple skill sets. Again, his batting profile dipped a little bit between the time we first saw him and his most recent scouting. That said, I think he's still more than enough of a gamble, worth the gamble, rather. Looks to be a super sub in the infield. Will be able to get hits, will be able to hit a little power, and then have moderate speed on the base paths. Lots to like here. A lot of different things that you could do here. Works hard. Kind of the shy type. That really doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. Didn't get to see him against the greatest competition, but what we did see, we liked. Buzzy primarily is a shortstop, and we think he can play there and definitely hold his own defensively. That's why he's on our list. He made it at number 75. Chris Kraft, another reliever, right-hander, 21 years old, from East Lansing, Michigan, went to Clemson, and yet again, another ACC product here. Nice cutter changeup mix. Got a nice four-pitch mix altogether. The sinker and the fastball, kind of right now, some of the best to go along with that cutter. All four pitches look to be at least average to slightly above average. Does very well locating the ball. Still in the mid-90s for speed, or the low mid-90s for speed. So he can bring it. Very good teammate. This entire profile looks to be slightly average to above, which means he would be a solid major leaguer with good character ability. Chris Kraft. Is he a closer? Don't know about that. We'll see how he develops, see who gets him during our draft next week. At number 77, Sergio Hill, 20-year-old left-handed reliever from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The Spanish-American native goes to Vanderbilt. Four-seam and a cutter, tracks well above average, throws a heavy ball, relies on the speed. Not too many breaking pitches here. Keeps the ball down, throws it heavy. The stuff will track to basically average. But I think with the three-pitch mix, he's got good leadership skills. Worry a little bit about control, but this is a young man who could potentially blossom, be a nice little back end of the bullpen piece for somebody like him too. Sergio Hill comes in at number 77. Leaf LeClaire comes in at number 78, and there's a lot of blue for somebody on this low in our big board, but it is mostly wrapped up in speed. Has elite speed, makes intelligent decisions on the base paths, never seems to make a wrong decision there. Can also steal at a high amount, stole 58 bases in college last year for York, Ontario. to go along with a 343 batting average. Caution with that. It was against poor competition. So, let's not get too over ourselves. However, the power bat seems to be above average, makes good adjustments. I think this batting profile will play out to slightly above average across the board. Might get fooled a little bit and may end up with not as much strong contact as you'd like as coming down the line. The defense is going to be average at best. The straight line speed hasn't really turned into outfield range yet. See if that matures as he begins his career in the minors. See what impact his coaching has on him. Looks to be more left fielder than right fielder because of the arm, but he's got a good grasp of the game. Leith LeClaire is our number 78 pick in our draft board. Backfields Media would select Chris Names, number 79 on the board from Des Moines. Good prep for games, exceptional control, knows how to hit his spots, can touch 96, a fly ball pitcher, currently having, not the home run allowed. It's a little behind everything else, but that is expected to mature, probably be his second best feature after the control. Like him a lot for his ability we think the growth potential is there. If everything maxes out to the right, he's going to be just fine for what his potential is. Chris Names comes in at number 79. At number 80, Ismael Badillo from Los Angeles, California, 21-year-old left fielder, goes to UCLA, has elite stolen base capabilities. He stole 31 in 67 games playing for UCLA. Also tracks to have above average power. Is an above average corner outfield, has the arm to play right, is probably most suited to left at this point. Nice all-around skill set. The speed helps a lot. The defense being average, the bat being average, he could potentially blossom. Looks to be a good value pick here at number 80, Ismael Badillo. Joe McCormick is next, comes in at number 81, 22-year-old from Bridgeton, Missouri, goes to Wichita State. Another one with almost elite base running and steal skills, even more so than his speed, which is definitely well above average. He's a fast kid. Very good outfield defense. The range tends to match the speed number there a little bit. Is likely to be able to play all three positions. Tracks to be a plus left fielder. Could also play right and center. The ability to catch the ball is his best defensive skill, but the range is not far behind. In terms of the bat, good heavy contact guy, nice gap power. Speed will help with both of those things. The power and eye played a slightly below average, but not so much that it is a terrible concern. I think McCormick is going to surprise. I wouldn't want to bet on him potentially to be a center fielder of the future, but he certainly could be a corner outfield, despite the fact that the power number isn't as low. If you've got power somewhere else where you wouldn't normally have it, or if you needed somebody who is a good all-around 4 or 5th outfielder, McCormick might settle into that spot ultimately. Joe McCormick is number 81 on the big board. Number 82, Jeremy Rathburn from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Canadian American, is 17 years old. He's a pitcher, has plus control and keeps the ball in the park. Only breaks 90, just barely. He's got an above average slider that will be ultimately his best pitch. 3 speed pitches without much speed, but I think it's the location and the home run suppression that are really going to get the attention of scouts and get him drafted and then signed. The stuff, as you can see, is well below where you would expect even for someone this young, but he's got the mechanical ability, and I think with the proper coaching, that will grade up to at least average. This would be a candidate to me for a development lab spot to see if could maximize his potential. Good kid. Think there's some future here for him. Jeremy Rathburn is number 82. Tim Goodwin comes in at number 83, another elite infield defender, at least at second base. Not too far behind at short or third either. He plays short most often and has plus to plus skills in his core ratings there. Sneaky fast on the bases, more so than just straight line speed. Despite the low intelligence score, I think he's got some raw talent here with the stealing. Above average power and eye we like to see. The gap power is also there. Will struggle to make contact. That's something that he's just going to have to work on. His college, he's played in Hofstra, which is average competition level. So that's not really helped him that much. This is another young man who will potentially see some benefit of being in the minors and getting some seasoning there. Tim Goodwin, maybe defense first and all the hitting is a bonus. We'll see. See who drafts him. Ken Hayes comes in at number 84, 19-year-old shortstop. The right-hander is from Salisbury, Maryland, going to Florida State currently. Another defensive gem as well. Already very capable at short in terms of being able to play. There's no doubt in my mind that he could play at a major league level. Plus in virtually everything but arm, which is a little slightly below that. Good speed and has the thing you love to see there where his ability outweighs his aggressiveness on the base paths. It's the gap power that is the thing for me here. That is the thing that he's well above his age range with his gap power. The contact looks like it will play up to be average, as will the power, and the eye slightly off that. Again, the defense and speed will be enough to get him more than a look at the major league level. Ultimately, just have to see how that bat develops over the coming years. Ken Hayes is our number 84 pick on the Backfields Media Big Board. Joel Fowler comes in at number 85, 20-year-old pitcher from El Paso, Texas, the right-hander, goes to Arizona State. Lives and dies off the changeup primarily, although his slider and the cutter is also cutter is his best pitch right now. The changeup will be the pitch that makes him a major leaguer or not. He is a starter. He's got a nice 4-pitch mix there. Above average core skills across the board. The movement is what's working right now. Ultimately, I think the control and stuff will be there. Throws deep into games, works very well, is very teachable. Coaches like him a lot. Be curious to see if he could bump that velo up, or perhaps maybe focus on getting a little bit more control if the velo doesn't move. This is a 4A to potentially back of the rotation starter right now. But I think he's worth a shot. Joel Fowler, number 85. At number 86, Tyrese McCadden, 18-year-old from Munhall, Pennsylvania. Committed to going to Cal State Fullerton. His mechanics, he's well below average with stuff. That's the thing that kind of jumps out at you in terms of negatives. He's got a nice fastball slider mix. They will both head to above average. The control will be above average. The stuff is where the scouts see him having the most room to grow. He's got the mechanics, had a bit of a growth spurt. He's already at 6'4" and only 18 years old. So now he's just got to relearn to use his body to throw again. I think the velocity will tick up. He's above average everywhere else. He's almost back to the old days of the facing one batter reliever. Low stamina. See if he can develop that as well. Going to be interesting to see what he can do in the minors. I like the lottery pick aspect of this young man. I think could be something incredible if things work out right. But I also get way ahead of myself in projections as well. Tyrese McCadden, we think he lands middle of the third round. Good potential, too good to kind of ignore. That's our take on him. Mike Wedgeworth comes in at number 87, the 19-year-old from Clewiston, Florida. Goes to the University of Florida. Plus contact, is an above-average corner outfielder. Really plays well, has above-average speed. Also hits with very solid contact to all fields. He's got good line drive bat. I think that means that the power is going to tick up to about average. The eye and gap power just slightly below it. Don't know if you'll ever really expect him to steal a lot of bases. Would like to see the base running skills improve a bit. And I think he really needs to work on being sure-handed and catching that ball, especially if he wants to play at center field at any sort of high minors or even in the major league level. He's got the arm to play in right. It's just that era has just it jumps out at you. It's the sore thumb in this profile. But that's a weakness that coaching can help with. So we'll see what happens here with Mike Edgeworth, the 19-year-old from Florida. Coming in at number 88, he is part of the Abbott and Costello All-Stars, Josh Tamara. From Brooklyn, New York, 17 years old, left-handed first baseman, committed to going to Delaware. Above average contact and power, like that a lot. Will not strike out. That and the power are what's playing up right now. He is ahead of his age range significantly. Good character trait. He's a good vibes kind of guy. Fills the whole clubhouse with that. The secondary skills are virtually non-existent. He is primarily a bat first. Going to take a lot of work to get that defensive ratings up, as well as the speed. But 17-year-old, he's 6'4", has the potential to do it. not bad for, 446, 490, 670, 67 slugging. In high school against average competition. So we're not ready to anoint him the next best thing. But Josh tomorrow could be tomorrow's star for somebody. He's number 88 on our board. Our scriptwriter is going to be summarily punished. Don't worry. 18-year-old Carl Gross, left-handed center fielder from Plantation, Florida. Center fielder, plus contact and gap power, hits the ball well and with authority, even at this young age. He gets in the batter's box and he knows what to look for. He gets his pitch and he is seldom fooled. Really like the bat on this young man. It has not translated to power yet, and he is still a little bit too much of a free swinger. In terms of batting eye, that has the potential to improve, obviously, being so young. He's got above average speed and base running. Is listed as a center fielder. Could see him be a very good right fielder, especially with that arm profile, but is not going to embarrass you at all, I think, in center field either. The big question mark, and because we have him this low, kind of mid-late third round, he's looking for a $6 million bonus. Again, that could be different for any GM, but I think there's going to have to be some conversation about what he's looking for there, especially if he falls to this spot. Carl Gross is our number 89 prospect and looks, I would think, to have a decent future in the majors. Sergio Espinoza is number 90 on our board, 17-year-old starting pitcher from Jupiter, Florida. He's a switch hitter when he bats, has some decent power as a hitter, but he seems to be focusing primarily on pitching. Committed to Texas, but I think that's never going to happen. He's been lights out as a pitcher in high school. You see his 3-year rankings there. Double-digit strikeouts every year against average competition. He's got a plus curveball. The sinker slider change is nice. The changeup, an auxiliary pitch, probably can't rely on it for outs, but can be just enough to confuse what's coming. Throws a heavy ball, will develop above average control, and I think the stuff will promote to at least slightly below average. Good stamina. He's got the mental skills to effectively handle big game pressure. You'd like to see that in a young man, especially a starter. You figure a big game, somebody you want them to get through the lineup, all the way through the lineup, maybe that third time. Sergio has the potential to do that. Kind of high, very high on our list. We'll see where he gets drafted and how he lands on the prospect list later in the season. But right now, he's our number 90 pick on our board. Josh Schwarzenberg comes in at 91 on our board from Santa Clarita, California. 22 years old. Went to Azusa Pacific. Slider changeup looks really good, has plus tendencies there. The curveball is not far behind it. The slider is what's working the best right now. Has good above average core skills. I think ultimately it's going to be the control and the stuff that works the most for him. He touches 96 and still keeps the ball down, so he's throwing it high in the strike zone. Nice capabilities here. Has a nice compact delivery. Good character. Overall, a very solid pick. The stamina rates out as more of a modern day starter, maybe twice through the lineup, and then we're looking for someone to come in. I think he can be effective with that. Nice launch angle, nice leverage with 6'4" frame. We will see where Schwarzenberg goes. He's number 91. Number 92 on the board, 22-year-old left-hander Eric Rumley from Portland, Maine, going to school in Arizona. Plus curveball, the fastball just behind that. That's a nice, devastating combination there. Always makes me think of Nolan Ryan, the fastball, curveball. More of a control pitcher here is an extreme fly ball. Needs to learn to rein that in. He's giving up a lot of heavy contact. And as a fly ball pitcher, that gets dangerous and also leads to a lot of earned runs. Not expecting him to be on Colorado's draft board. Let's just say that. Touches 95 on the velocity as a normal slot. Really good abilities here. He's going to have to figure out what to do with the movement, or he's going to have to, play in the Grand Canyon or something like that. He's another big game pitcher. See what he can become. Eric Rumley is our number 92 prospect. Cedric Legrand comes in at 93, 21-year-old catcher from Edmonton, Alberta, 6'4". Another elite framer and blocker. Really good feet, knows how to set himself well, calls a good game, helps the umpire out a lot. The arm is a bit of a concern. It's well below average. That said, I think this is the kind of guy who significantly impacts ERAs for pitching staffs and will be a big use there. Potential for an average to slightly below average eye and power, which will be helpful. Contact needs a lot of work. This is someone who would be an excellent backup catcher, I feel like, and you would not lose much, and certainly would help with pitchers that need that extra. They're trying to touch and trying to hit the black. Cedric Legrand may be the biggest help here for a group like that. Coming out of college, Columbia, he's a quiet one, but I think he's a good one. He's number 93 on our big board. Number 94, Juan Aldape. He's from Mexico. He's a shortstop, 21 years old. Plus infield defender, can play all the infield positions. Very sure-handed, can handle the traffic around the second base bag on a double play, has a solid arm and range, and mostly average in terms of the power, below average when you get talking about eye and contact. This is a defensive first player, could be a super sub defensively, and won't be so horrible with the bat that he's unplayable, I think. Would like to see him develop and see what that bat can become as the defensive skills are already there. Not going to add anything to the game with his speed. Tends to be a little too aggressive, trying to steal. That's very coachable as well. It'll be interesting. Like to see where he ends up. He's our 94 pick on the Backfields Media big board. Number 95 is Chad Marshall, 18-year-old center fielder from West Carson, California. Goes to Orthopedic High School. I have questions. Committed to go to Fresno State. Above average power and contact for this young man. The gap power already there, and also already hitting with some authority, getting the line drives. He's a huge project. He needs a lot of work in terms of his power and eye, and also his contact. Has a plus arm, is going to be a very good corner outfielder defensively. You could see him playing right field. The speed plays up really nice. It's above average. I think that will help him too in the outfield. Good leadership qualities and a hard work ethic. So without that, I don't think Chad would even be on our big board, quite frankly. But I think with that work ethic, with the adaptability and the leadership, I think all those things together are going to coalesce. We're going to end up with an average bat with a well above average defensive player. That's a major leaguer. Chad Marshall is our 95th selection on the big board. Juan Barco, the Puerto Rican American 21-year-old third baseman, going to Cal State Fullerton. Above average offensive profile, hits with power, has good eye. I think the eye is the best part of him in terms of his batting profile. Plays everywhere in the infield. Could be an elite first baseman, which makes sense, but he's also got the infield arm to play at third, which is where he mostly plays now. You could do worse than putting him at shortstop for brief periods. The personality comment was he's relaxed and confident, aggressive when needed. See that on a lot of good young players. Doesn't try to force it. You know, the old what's the scouting trope? Lets the game come to him. Good loyalty guy. Has great range. I think he's worth more than a flyer. This is somebody who could be a sixth infielder or potentially even more than that if everything plays right. Juan Barco is our number 96th selection. Dan Barker, number 97 from West Pensacola, Florida, goes to school at Southeastern Louisiana. Plus power. The matter of fact, his power hitting is what is predominant right now, although got some decent contact as well. I think the power is going to play out more as he continues to grow. Another good corner outfielder, good defense in terms of range. You see he plays up very well at left field, has the arm to play right field. Could sneak him in at center field for an inning or two. Worried a little bit about the error. The speed plays slightly below average. Hey, we're at the bottom of the third round. You're starting to see significant holes in players. That said, where they have strength is where they're going to provide benefit to a ball club. So like with Barker, for example, you've got a decent corner outfield kid with power, average speed, potentially average contact. That plays. He's probably won't be on any all-star teams, but who knows? Dan Barker, number 97. Steve O'Neill comes in at number 98, an above-average offensive profile, which you love to see for a shortstop. Everything plays above average here. Has some good gap power, has some above-average speed, so he can leverage that for, you guessed it, doubles and triples. The eye and the power are, I think, going to come with some age and maybe bulk up the frame a little bit. Good line drive hitter right now. Good work ethic. Is a rangy shortstop. The arm slightly below average. The infield errors are at average. I'm curious to see if any of that can be coached up. I think this is a really good candidate for a shortstop position. Goes to UVA. Again, another ACC. Great school. We'll see how he does on draft night. Steve O'Neill, number 98 on our board. Jonathan Bryant comes in at number 99, left-handed third baseman. He's only 23 years old. He's from Roxbury Township. Bats left, throws right, goes to Butler. Plus power. Ball jumps off of his bat, hits line drives, can hit home runs to all fields, and does so. Has a tremendous spray chart. Tends to pull the ball when he's if he's way out in front, he's going to typically top it off and beat it into the ground. Would like to see those BABIP skills improve ever so much. He is a free swinger. He's not going to get cheated. So we're not looking at somebody who's going to hit for a high average with these home runs. As far as defensively, looks to be a third baseman. That arm plays. He's got a plus arm. Everything else is average to below average. Cue the kid who says he hits dingers. Jonathan Bryant hits dingers. We'll see where he goes. He's number 99 on our big board. And our final pick of this third round episode, probably one of the best names in the draft, Alpha Vanterpool. 21-year-old switch hitting shortstop from Wilmington, Mass, goes to Boston College. An infield super sub. Doesn't have the greatest arm, so he's going to struggle on the left side of the diamond. Is sure-handed, can turn the double play, is very adaptable, makes the most out of well below average speed. So reads pitchers, can get a good jump, and is successful. Stole 23 bases last year against good competition at Boston College. The eye looks like it's going to play up very well, so that will help. He'll be getting some walks, and then that will lead to some steals. Contact is going to need a lot of work. He, too, is a free swinger, but I think the defense will play up as well as the speed. Alpha Vanterpool wraps up our third round coverage today at number 100. Don't forget, we're only 2 days away. May the 13th, rounds 1 and 2. The next day, rounds 3 through 5. And then if you've joined our community and you are on the Discord, you'll be able to watch the entire draft unfold. 25 rounds. Tremendous. It's a lot of fun. Just no two ways about it. And as I do the math in my head, I think it might be, I think I'm right. Anyway, it's a lot of rounds. Hit us up on Twitch. Come by Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern for Game of the Night. Always a good show. We'll whet your interest with a few clips that we post on the YouTube channel. Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., it's Coffee with the Commish. You can start your day with baseball, and isn't that the best way to start the day anyway? You can also like and subscribe here. Give us a comment. Tell us what you like. It's really a great time. We love this league a lot. Until tomorrow, when we wrap up the Backfields Media Big Board coverage, I'm Tim Lowry. For all of the scouts and all of the folks who like to write media articles for Backfields Media, I'm Tim Lowry. Have a great rest of your day.